Let me stay here, and I'll give you what no human woman can. Alien woman begging. The wind howled against the metal walls of the outpost, a thin, keening wail like some wounded animal circling in the snow. Captain Marcus Hale leaned against the rust-streaked doorframe, rifle slung low, watching the storm churn over the barren plains of Clyros 9. It had been 2 weeks since the transport left him behind with a skeleton crew to maintain the weather station. 2 weeks of silence, routine checks, and endless cold. Then the knock came. It wasn't even a knock, exactly, more like a soft scraping, almost tentative. Marcus frowned. Nothing lived out here. Nothing human, anyway. He flipped the interior lights to red, unslung his rifle, and moved toward the airlock. His boots echoed on the metal grating. Another scrape. Then a voice. "Let me in," it whispered. The comm system didn't pick it up. He heard it inside his head. "Please." He froze. Telepathy? Out here? Slowly, he punched the external camera feed. The screen flickered, revealing a figure crouched by the outer hatch. Female, or at least shaped like one. Her skin was pale lavender, almost glowing against the snow, her long hair plastered to her shoulders like liquid silver. She wore no suit, only tattered fabric. Her lips moved, but the words still blossomed inside his skull. "Let me stay. Please. They're hunting me." Marcus hesitated. Protocol said to lock the hatch, alert command, and wait for instructions. But command was 5 days away by subspace, and storms like this knocked out transmissions anyway. He stared at the woman on the monitor. Her eyes, large, black, and glistening, held no malice. Just desperation. He opened the airlock. She stumbled inside, collapsing on the deck plates. Frost steamed from her hair and skin. He closed the hatch, repressurized, and knelt beside her. "You're lucky you didn't freeze," he muttered. Her gaze snapped to his. "You didn't have to let me in," her voice brushed across his mind. "Most humans wouldn't." "I'm not most," he said. She tilted her head, studying him. "Your name?" "Marcus Hale. Captain." "I am Kira," she whispered aloud this time, voice soft but edged. Her hands trembled as she hugged herself. Her fingers were tipped with faint claws. Not a predator's claws, more like some half-grown felines. He got her a blanket, an emergency ration bar, and a canteen of warm water. She ate like she hadn't had food in days, pausing only to glance around the Spartan station. "This place is safe?" she asked between bites. "For now," Marcus said. "Depends on who's after you." Kira's pupils narrowed to slits. "Hunters. My own kind. I broke their bonds. I fled." Marcus leaned against the console. "Slavery." Her shoulders shook. "More than slavery. Breeding stock. They wanted my body to carry their next generation. But she swallowed hard. I could not. Not after what they did to my sister." He felt a cold spark of anger. "And you're asking me to hide you?" She met his eyes, and the full force of her desperation hit him like a physical blow. "Let me stay here, and I'll give you what no human woman can." He blinked. What does that even mean? Kira lowered the blanket, revealing a lattice of faint glowing veins along her collarbone, pulsing like starlight. "My species bonds once in our lives. When we do, our minds and bodies attune to the one who shelters us. We share sight, thought, even strength. It can heal wounds you thought unhealable. It can keep you alive in the storms beyond your air, beyond your gravity. No human woman can offer you that. I can." Marcus felt his pulse hammer. This wasn't seduction, it was survival. But it sounded like more than he bargained for. "That's permanent?" "Yes," she whispered. "You save me, I save you. But if they find me, they'll kill you too." He scrubbed a hand over his face. He hadn't signed up for this. He was just a weather officer stationed on an empty ice rock, counting days until rotation. And now an alien woman was asking to bond with him, offering powers he couldn't even comprehend. Outside, the wind screamed louder, a rumble of something heavier moving through the snow. Kira stiffened. "They're close," she hissed. Marcus moved to the console, flicking on the perimeter sensors. 3 blips appeared on the grid, moving fast toward the station. "Friends of yours?" "No," she said. "Hunters." "Damn it." He grabbed his rifle, checked the charge. "We can't outgun them." Kira stood, the blanket falling from her shoulders. She looked taller now, her glowing veins brightening. "We don't have to. Bond with me. Now. Or you'll die." He stared at her. "You're asking me to risk my life." "I'm asking you to live," she cut in, voice fierce. "If you let them in, they'll tear the station apart. If you bond with me, I can hide us both, bend the storm around us. But I cannot do it alone." The perimeter alarm shrieked. The blips were almost at the door. Marcus's heart pounded. He had seconds to decide. He met Kira's eyes. "What do I do?" She reached out, claws glinting. "Take my hands. Open your mind." He did. Her palms were warm, almost too warm. Her black eyes widened. "Breathe," her voice whispered in his mind. "Let me in." He closed his eyes. A rush of alien sensation poured into him. Cold starlight, ancient songs, the weight of oceans on some faraway world. For a heartbeat, he couldn't breathe. Then his chest expanded, a new rhythm syncing with hers. Something inside him cracked and healed all at once. When he opened his eyes, the room looked sharper, brighter. He could see heat patterns through the walls, taste the electricity in the air. Kira stood before him, glowing like a living star. "We are one," she said inside his head. "Now move." The first hunter hit the outer hatch with a crash that shook the station. Marcus and Kira turned as one. He didn't think. He knew where to aim, firing before the breach even appeared. The blast slammed into the door just as it opened, sending the first hunter staggering back into the storm. Kira raised her hands. The storm itself seemed to twist, snow curling into a wall of white. She hissed a word Marcus didn't know, and the second hunter vanished into the blizzard. He felt her strength flow through him, guiding his aim, his movements. 2 minds, 1 body. But the third hunter was faster. It burst through the door, a hulking figure of bone and black chitin. Marcus fired, but its armor absorbed the blast. It lunged, claws out. Kira screamed, shoving Marcus aside, but he moved with her, their bodies perfectly synchronized. Together they dodged, rolled, came up as one. He grabbed a plasma cutter from the bench. She directed his hand. They plunged the blade into the creature's chest. It shrieked and fell, smoking. Silence crashed down, broken only by the wind. Marcus and Kira stood panting, still holding each other. He looked at her. "We're alive." She smiled weakly. Because of the bond. He felt her exhaustion bleeding into him. He guided her to a chair. "You weren't kidding," he murmured. "No," she said softly. "It is real." He sat opposite her. "So, what now? You stay here?" Kira closed her eyes. "If you send me away, I'll die. But if I stay, they'll send more. The bond means I'm yours as much as you're mine. You could turn me over, collect a bounty." Marcus shook his head. "Not my style." She opened her eyes, shining with tears. "Then let me stay. Let me work. Let me help you. I can fix your equipment, keep your station alive. And more."